Just before we get into this video, guys, if you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, the links are here. And if you also want to support me on Patreon as well and help out my channel, that would be absolutely awesome as well. But let's get on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another comic book review. Now, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be doing a bit of Batman today. Funnily enough, I was in the middle of reading this in preparation for this video when somebody commented on the last one, why don't you do the Court of Owls? So yeah, today we are talking about Batman, the Court of Owls. Now this one is really interesting because this is the first of the New 52 version of Batman. So if you're not familiar with what the New 52 is or why it even exists, I'll just give you a brief summary. So basically the DC universe and timeline was getting so convoluted and whatnot that they decided to give it sort of a reboot. So there was a comic book storyline, the Flashpoint Paradox, which, yes, I will be doing at some point because it's fucking phenomenal, where basically because of the events of that, it rebooted everything in the DC universe and just made it a bit more streamlined. From what I believe, the New 52 run as a whole isn't massively popular. I think people like it in general, but it's not universally loved, which is a shame, and I don't get that, because I love a hell of a lot of the New 52 stuff. Although to be fair, it's probably nostalgia because I think after I'd left secondary school, I started reading comics again, and that's kind of when the New 52 was coming out, like 2011. Yeah, so I would have been reading comics at that time, so that's probably why I have some sort of attachment to it. But to be fair, there's some genuinely great stuff, and I think Batman the Court of Owls is definitely a great story. Annoyingly, this is the first part of two. So I haven't read the entire story yet because I didn't realise that the second volume of the New 52 Batman is the City of Owls, which carries on the story. So this one actually ends on a cliffhanger, but I will talk about everything leading up to that anyway. So basically Gotham is in, as always, a pretty bad place. When is Gotham ever in a good place though? It's always terrible. I'd still visit though. But what Batman doesn't realise is that hidden away in the dark, in the secret underground of Gotham, there is a new villain, or actually technically an old villain because they've been around for years. The Court of Owls, who are basically this, I guess the only way I can compare it is like an Illuminati type thing. They're just sort of overseeing everything, and Gotham is essentially their city without Batman even realizing. He didn't even know that they existed. To everyone in Gotham, the Court of Owls, they're just a fairy tale. They don't even exist. Except gradually throughout the story, you see Batman doing his detective work and he sort of realizes, actually, you know, maybe they are real. And then he gets visited by one. The Court of Owls usually, if they don't like something, they will send out an assassin known as the Talon, who will hunt down and take out whoever it is who is going against what they want. They want control of Gotham, they want to do their own thing, they want Gotham in their image. And because Gotham is in such a bad way, Bruce Wayne wants to reinvent it again. Similar to how his great-great-grandfather, I think it is in the story, how he built Gotham in the first place. Bruce Wayne wants to invest in Gotham and make it this haven, make it this hub, make it the city that realistically it should be. However, the Court of Owls clearly don't like this, so they send the Talon to go and take out Bruce Wayne. That's basically the premise. There are other things that are going on, of course. You get to see flashbacks of Bruce's grandfathers and great-grandfathers and their run-ins with the Court of Owls, and I think it is just genuinely a fucking great Batman story. Like, there's no other way that I can describe it. You've got everything you love about Batman in this. The whole awesome action. You get cameo appearances from a number of his rogues gallery. You get to see him do detective work. You see him lurking in the shadows. There's moments where you see him reveal bits of his past and how it affects him. It's very personal in places. You get to see his relationship with the Bat family, like Robin and Nightwing and Red Hood. Is it Red Hood? I don't think Red Hood actually appears in this. But basically like Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne and all these characters. There are some times in this as well where Batman seems genuinely broken. There's this really awesome sequence. I'm not going to explain how or why it happens, but there's this really amazing sequence where Batman is almost losing his mind. Even the comic book itself plays upon this. So I turned over the page and I was just like, hang on, why is it sideways? And I turned it over, why is it upside down? It does that. It messes with you as well as the audience. And I think such a simple thing as that, as printing the page upside down or sideways, was actually really effective to get across how fucked up this situation that Bruce is actually in. I mean, we've seen characters like the Joker get so close to breaking Batman but never succeed. This is probably, from my knowledge at least, I know there's going to be some DC and Batman aficionado who's probably going to tell me I'm wrong, but from what I personally have seen and read, this is one of the closest times where I'm like, yeah, Bruce is just like gonna give up now. this is it for him. Obviously it's not gonna be because it's volume fucking 1, but you get the idea. Scott Snyder, who is the writer on this, I think did such a great job. I think the way that he writes certain characters, he just seems to understand at their core the characters. The way that he writes these characters is exactly how I know them, which I know sounds weird because it's Batman. Batman is always going to be Batman, but there are plenty of different versions. Like, you wouldn't compare Adam West's version of Batman to Christian Bale's. Like, you can interpret them differently. But in terms of comic book Batman, this is one of my favourite versions so far. I've not read the whole run yet, so we don't know. But I just found myself every now and again, I'd get to the end of a chapter or an issue or whatever it is in these, and I had to go because I had to go back to work or I was doing something else, and I was just like, I just really want to keep reading it. I know it sounds cliche, but it genuinely is a page turner. It genuinely is so engaging and enthralling, and like with Batman, you just want to unravel the mysteries more. Who are the Court of Owls? Why is this Talon here? Where do they come from? What do they actually want? And over the course of the book, you do gradually get drip-fed different answers, and a lot of the things you do have to kind of work out for yourself and put the pieces together the same way that Batman does. But that's so fun. You want that from a Batman comic. You want to put yourself into Batman's shoes. I mean, the artwork is phenomenal as well. It is genuinely great. There's a lot of dark imagery here. There's a lot of great designs, actually, not just for Batman, but the design of the Talon and the Court of Owls, and that weird dream nightmare sequence that I was talking about before with the pages upside down. It's all so beautifully drawn, and the flashbacks, they're done in sepia tone. They're really effective. It was the perfect way to reboot Batman for a comic book audience. It doesn't really alienate you. If you love Batman, you will love this story. I genuinely think this is one of the best. And even though they are relatively recent, like 2011, I would say that the Court of Owls and the Talon and what have you, they're up there with the likes of the Joker and Two-Face and Mr. Freeze. I think they are a genuinely great Batman villain. And not only that, I love how they came up with that idea, the fact that owls are predators of bats. It's such a simple idea, and they even use it in the comic book itself. Batman is researching and everything, and he's like, yeah, owls do devour bats. It seems so obvious to do something like that because so many superheroes are named after an animal, whether it is a Batman or a Spider-Man or an Ant-Man or what have you. I like that they played upon the fact that bats get targeted by owls. It's simple, but works. For me, Batman Court of Owls Volume 1 at least, I haven't finished the rest of the story, so this could very well change, but this for me is my first 10 out of 10. I did not have any qualms with this whatsoever. I didn't have any issues with it. I was so engaged with it. I genuinely could not wait to turn the page over and just read more. This is just a fucking great Batman story, and if you haven't checked it out already, you've got to. But in the comments below, guys, let me know what you think. Have you read Batman the Court of Owls? If you have, let me know what you think of it. Next comic book review, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but you'll find out when it's up, so yeah. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe for more, because like I say, I will be doing more of these. Social media and Patreon links will be in the description below, so if you'd follow me on any of those things, I would absolutely love you forever. But till next time, guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye. I'm Batman. I'll just give you a breath. Oh my god.